The thing about milk thistle is the thing that you can eat the flowers before they become flowers. They look like artichokes. So if anybody's had artichokes, milk thistle is very similar. Now, I will say that to get to said flower is difficult with a milk thistle seed because they are the spikiest things. And even with leather gloves, like the suede leather gloves, those plants are difficult to wrangle. So, and they hurt. They hurt. They're worse than stinging nettles when they poke you. But they're really beautiful. So the flowers are beautiful. The leaves are variegated, white and green. They're super, super pretty. I do grow them. But once this flower blooms, as most plants do, it sets seeds. And these are the seeds that are captured from it. Milk thistle seeds are they are an amazing liver restorative and protector. The best way to do these is to chew them. So kind of like you chew sunflower seeds. Milk thistle seeds are something that you will chew and swallow the juices from. You will be chewing on them for a long time because they're really, really fibrous. So when you're tired of chewing on them, you can still chew them some more. And continue to do so, and then you can swallow them if you choose to. If you choose not to, I completely understand, but. They also work great as a decoction. They also work great as an infusion. They also are really terrific for your gallbladder. So not just the liver, but the gallbladder as well. I've had some friends that we put on milk thistle seeds and powders and things like that who were facing gallbladder surgery and didn't need it afterwards. It reduces the inflammation, it reduces the infections, it can reduce gallstones. Allegedly. Not allowed to say that in America, but it is true. Because your gallbladder, although we tend to think of some of our organs as disposable, the gallbladder is important, particularly for processing fats in your blood. So one of the things that people who have had their gallbladder removed notice is that anything that is fried in vegetable oil or tempura batters and things like that are almost indigestible afterwards because the gallbladder's digestive juices, the bile that is produced by them, is what counteracts those fats. And so if you don't have an organ, like your appendix or anything else like that, that is actively working to digest those things, they don't digest. They still go through you in a more unpleasant way. Ew, gross. So not only are they protective, but they're also regenerative of the liver. And if you've not completely and utterly abused your liver to the point of it being fatty or necrotic or anything else like that, the liver itself is regenerative. It will regenerate portions of itself, and milk thistle will help in that regeneration process. Any questions so far? Move on to ginger. Not Marianne. You know what that means, do you?
Yes.
I'm looking at these two, they're like, they don't know what this means. There used to be this television program called Gilligan's Island. And it was about these 7 stranded castaways on a desert island, which was ridiculous.
Right.
The premise of it was ridiculous in the action. But there was the movie star, and her name was Ginger, but her best friend, who was a country gal, her name was Marianne. So you can't talk about ginger without Marianne. So ginger is a subtropical root. It grows a lot in South America, particularly India, places that are hot and wet. We have had marginal success with growing it in pots and then bringing those pots into the greenhouse for winter. Not a heated greenhouse, but at least a protected one. So you can grow them here. It's challenging, so unless you're really going to dedicate a lot of time to it, buy it, but buy it fresh. You can always buy it fresh, cut it up, and dry it. So ginger is a spicy root. It's great for a lot of things. Ginger is great alongside cinnamon and things like that for blood sugar support. It's also great for respiratory support. It's also great for immune support. It's also great for circulatory support. Ginger is a blood stimulant. It actually vacillates the, bless you, it vacillates or it dilates the blood vessels in the body, and it speeds up circulation. So one of the things about like wintertime teas and things like that, the reason that they have a lot of ginger in them is because they do exactly that. They speed up circulation, which gives you a warming sensation, particularly in your extremities. It's also a digestive stimulant. So we talked about those gastrointestinal juices and fluids that are existing in your stomach. We want to start producing those faster and earlier in the digestive process, and ginger is one of those herbs or botanicals that facilitates that.
You said, one of the first things you said was about drying it. You can take fresh and dry it. Why would you want to dry it? I mean, storage purposes,
Storage
and then
purposes.
is it still as potent as it would be?
In fact, sometimes more so.
Okay, and then what do you do with it dried? I mean, if you cut it like that, and then you dried it, and do you use one of those thingies that dry it out? Or
I am fortunate in the fact that I have a commercial dehydrator in my house, but I started off with one of those old-fashioned, my grandmother's Nesco circular dehydrators that they used to make like jerky out of back in the 70s. I still have it. It's great, and it works the same as it did then. And you can still buy them today. And yeah, so slice it up, put it in there. It's a long-term storage because unless you're going to plan on putting it into dirt, it will sprout. Ginger will sprout, and it'll start throwing off shoots and roots and things like that because it's a root, or it'll rot. So the thing is I find that I don't use a whole big root right at once. I slice it, and then I leave it. And so hopefully it heals over, and then I can go do it again. But I don't like to refrigerate it. It should stay at room temperature or slightly cooler because it will rot faster in the refrigerator. So if you want to get a more concentrated gingerol in it, slice it and dehydrate it. Anytime that you concentrate the oils or the components of a plant by drying it, you concentrate those things, you actually intensify them. So as a dried, but I do not, unless you're baking it, or you can get it in no other way, would I recommend that you buy it powdered. Because it's like pepper that you buy already ground. What for? You're not getting anything out of it. You're not getting the pepper on. You're also not getting the flavor. So once you crush something, a berry or a plant or something like that, you are releasing that and oxidizing it. So the benefits of it, as well as the flavor and taste of it, are reduced. And ginger's the same way. Cinnamon. This is one that everybody knows about. But they don't know that it is also, along with ginger, a warming spice. So it's one of the reasons why it's in mulled wines and ciders and red hots. It is a warming spice. So it's a digestive aid. It helps stimulate that bile in all of the digestive organs. It also is something that helps with blood sugar balance. So we've talked a lot about how we overconsume sugar during this period of time. That tends to lead our blood sugars to spike and drop, spike, and drop, spike, and drop. And over the long haul, inconsistent blood sugar levels can lead to diabetes, hypoglycemia, moi. I tend to have very low blood sugar, but there's diabetes that runs in my family. So at any time, that switch could flip based on my diet and all the other things. So I tend to take the milk thistle. I take elderflower and elderberry, ginger and cinnamon in a tincture on a daily basis that I make, and then that is my blood sugar support for me. And I test my blood sugar periodically, even though I'm not diabetic. I just think that having information, but not being a complete psycho about it, is important. So doing at-home testing and things like that, I'm very supportive of. Functional medicine, without them being the crazy people that are on TikTok today, there's a lot of them. But functional medicine, and I have some friends who are functional medicine practitioners, will do a lot of testing for vitamins and nutrients and things like that in your blood versus just the things your standard panels will give you. But like anything, there are crazy herbalists, probably one of them, I don't know. But there's also people out there that are not, they take things a little bit too far, and I think that living in balance is probably a good idea. We were just talking about Western medicine versus herbalism and natural medicine. I think each one of those things has their place. Go too far in any direction, you're going to end up with an outlier, and you'll end up with some sort of cuckoo. I don't know. And we don't want that. So on top of being really great for you, it is tasty, it's comforting, and it's marvelous. And it works well if you break it, which you can break it and put it into teas, or you can use it, like we talked about, in a decoction. It serves best because it is a bark. So if you're making a decision and you want to write this down, or you want to talk about this later, if you are dealing with things that are leafy, flower, and light stems, best for infusions. Berries, roots, bark, which cinnamon is exactly that, is that bark of a tree. That is best served in a decoction or a tincture. And however you're going to, and we can talk about tinctures afterwards, and I can talk about methodologies of getting this stuff in after, because there are many methods of extracting the phytochemicals out of herbs. It's just what is best for you, what is best for your situation, and what's best for your lifestyle. Here's one that's maybe a bit more egalitarian. Lemon balm. Now, anyone's heard of lemon balm? It is a lemon-flavored herb. It is in the mint family, so it grows everywhere. And it grows everywhere you don't plant it. It's like St. John's wort, if anybody is familiar with the St. John's wort plant. It's lovely. It's beautiful. And I planted 3 plants of it in my garden about 20 years ago, and it grows absolutely everywhere but where I planted it. It grows in the cracks of my patio. It loves it there. It doesn't love it where I put it, which was in the great, nice, fluffy garden soil. It was like, yeah, insert finger gesture here. We're going to grow where we want. You're not my mom, and you never will be. So lemon balm is the same way. It is a lemon-flavored, lemon-scented herb. There's a lot of mythology around lemon balm. It's called Sweet Melissa. So if you hear it called Sweet Melissa, you know that it is lemon balm. And it's named after the nymphs called Melissae in Greek mythology that were the priestesses or the attendants of Hecate, who was a Greek goddess. And it literally means Sweet Melissa, and Melissae means honeybee. So they would use this to find where honeybees were naturally creating hives. Since we are beekeepers, if we split a hive or if we capture a swarm, I will grab a handful of this, depending on the weather, if we can get it during that period of time, and I will stuff it in the bottom of the boxes where we're going to be putting the bees, and it makes them feel more comfortable, and it makes them stay, because what happens with a lot of swarms is that you will take them because they're like, yay, we're free. And then you take them and you put them in a box when they're not feeling it, and they will just swarm again. So, but if you put lemon balm in the bottom of it, it helps to create a sense of calm. It does that same thing for you, because it's a nervine. So on top of digestive and liver support, it makes you feel good. It gives you a pleasant sensation, a pleasant feeling. And mental and physical tied together are important. It's what herbalism is about. It also does wonders for your digestive system. It's calming like mint is. It also is something that helps to process toxins through and out of the liver. And it's easy. So throw this in a pot, and you'll have it forever. And then you'll have it everywhere else.
If anybody needs some, come to my house.
Or mine, yeah, I've got plenty. Although I use it in a lot. So one of the other interesting things about lemon balm, we'll go back to it, is, and here's something that's even more pleasant than we're talking about digestive things in food. What could be better than to talk about herpes? But the gentle kind of herpes. Cold sores. It is a herpes simplex virus that you get when you have a cold sore, and I'm not prone to them, but there are people that are. Lemon balm is probably one of the most effective deterrents to cold sores. So getting like Abreva, Campho-Phenique, I don't even know if they still make that anymore, or camphor or whatever, are really, really harsh. You can get a lemon balm oil, put it on there. I make a lip balm that is made from lemon balm. Blend it with oils, extract it, and then mix it with a little bit of oil and beeswax for a lip balm. And it's also a great spot treatment for that. So on top of it being a nervine and all of the things, it's an antiviral in a gentle way. Chicory. So if you are from the south or the southwest, you probably already know what this is. If you've ever been to New Orleans and had their special coffee, you've had chicory. I am not a fan. I don't like it as a coffee replacement because honestly, that's just, you're being a charlatan. Liar. It does not taste like coffee. It doesn't even remotely seem like coffee. It smells like, I mean, it's pleasant to smell. It's kind of like how I feel about hazelnuts. I like, okay, simmer down.
Now you're getting personal.
Violence is never the answer. Hazelnuts are delicious, and they smell heavenly. But I have never tasted a more unpleasant cup of coffee than hazelnut coffee. It is so bitter. It's just revolting.
I drink every morning. My hazelnut coffee.
It takes all kinds in this world, even those that like hazelnut coffee. So chicory is a leafy plant. Makes a beautiful flower, great for pollinators. It doesn't grow terribly well here. The wild versions of it do. Wild chicory grows like crazy. If you drive down 71 in the summer, the purple flowers, it's wild chicory. Not the same as cultivated chicory. Doesn't have the same flavor, all of that other stuff. Still has the same medicinal benefits, but I also cannot tell you that you are allowed to you're not allowed to pick those because they are wildflowers. So don't do that. But it is a prebiotic, so it creates a great biome in your gut for digestion. So you don't need to eat the Jamie Lee Curtis yogurt that makes you poop. And what is that? Gross. That is gross. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I do not care for that. Why would you trade off all of that sugar for some prebiotics, which actually your own gut is going to destroy? Because it's not innate in your system. You're putting it in through a vehicle that will be destroyed by your stomach acid. So it's kind of it's not really helping you. And I think the reason that it's going to make you go to the bathroom is because most adults are lactose intolerant. And that we are. So most adults are in some way, shape, or form lactose intolerant. So even though it's got cultures in it, there's still a lot of dairy to that. I think that's what's making you go to the bathroom more than the prebiotics. But it is a great, chicory root is a good liver and digestion support. So you can, and here's the thought, is if you still like coffee, and I do, you could add some chicory to it, a little bit. If you like that spicy note to it, you can get that from chicory. I don't particularly care for it, but you can.
What part of the plant
It's the root. Yep, it's the root.